Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Noah Unleashed. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melball. I like watching Japanese wrestling, and this is Noah Unleashed, a weekly news and review show where I give you all the latest details on my favorite Japanese wrestling company right now, Pro Wrestling Noah. If you're not new here, welcome back to the Glorious Chaos. That is your Melball. You came back because you loved it. You know it. So I have a great show to talk to you about today. I got an episode of the Sunny Voyage show that happened on the 27th. So this is one of those on-demand shows that gets put out like 2 or 3 days after the show. I've been just catching up with some other things, so it's taken me a bit to get to this one, but I have some things I need to talk about, and I gotta get it out. But before we get into that, I need you to like the video, subscribe to OLE, and turn on notifications to be alerted every time we drop a new video. So, without further ado, let's get into the show again. We are talking about the Sunny Voyage show that happened on July 27th, and this was didn't write it down, but this was a charity event to help the earthquake victims. So we did see Muto come out later, but I will get to that. For now, we're going to get into match number 1, which was a tag team match that featured All Rebellions, Kai Fujimura, and Galeno taking on the team of Kenoh and Junta Miyawaki. So some notable points in this amazing opener was Galeno and Kenoh starting and Kenoh taking out after getting annoyed, as per Kenoh does. Galeno kept putting him down, shoulder blocks, hits, everything. It was phenomenal. Fujimura Miyawaki coming in, having a fun little kind of reversal spot in the beginning there. Fun arm drags kind of going on there, and then Fujimura hitting a drop kick. Kenoh comes in with kicks and kicks the freaking crap out of Fujimura for a bit before applying a half crab, which Fujimura is able to escape by crawling to the ropes. There's one point where Galeno plants Kenoh and then gains momentum running the ropes before hitting a big body press. Fujimura and Miyawaki coming in, trading shots back and forth, getting the crowd fire up before Fujimura catches Miyawaki with a hip toss and then follows up with a running senton for 2. Released German by Miyawaki, followed by that Sunshine suplex, Sunshine suplex, which is that German suplex hold that he does. And then Fujimura kicks out. Darn. The finish comes, though, here with Kenoh sending Galeno to the outside and Miyawaki hitting his second rope plancha to Galeno. Then Kenoh hits a nasty PK on Fujimura for 2 and then follows up with the double stomp that he calls the PFS, or the professional foot stomp, for the win. It was a very solid opener. No chaos, no craziness, just a good solid wrestling match. Get in, get out, get the crowd excited. It's a fun match to start off the show with. So from here, we're going to go into match number 2. And this was a 3-way match that featured Black Mensore, as most of them are seeming to do lately. It's very interesting, but hilarious kind of story that he's been telling lately. So again, Black Mensore taking on Tadasuke, taking on Alejandro. So a few notable spots in this one was Black Mensore during his little Za taunt, Tadasuke grabbing the legs and kind of pulling him out and then sending him into the barricades, only to eat a body press from Alejandro when he gets back towards the ring. Alejandro hemming it up with Black Mensore at one point, moving Tadasuke first too far, and then unreasonably close, and then a little too far again. And the playfulness of Alejandro, unfortunately, to get the better of him, Tadasuke is able to kind of regain the upper hand here, and pushes Alejandro into Black Mensore, causing him to fall off of the turnbuckle It was a funny little spot and always fun to watch Black Mensore kind of hamming things up. So the finish comes here. This is a little complicated finish here, so bear with me. I have to bear with myself. Tadasuke hits a big lariat on Black Mensore, pins him for 2, but breaks the pin when Alejandro comes in to do a body press, who ends up body pressing Mensore for 2, but the break when Tadasuke goes for an elbow drop, Alejandro gets out of the way, elbow drops Mensore instead. Okay, where are they? Hits. Elbow drop. Okay, Tadasuke then sends Alejandro into the corner and he steps over Black Mensore, not like over, but like on top of and over Black Mensore going into the corner. Tadasuke runs in, does double stomp on Black Mensore, keeps running through to try to hit Alejandro, but Alejandro does move out of the way. He sends Tadasuke into the corner and then Alejandro uses Tadasuke to like bulldog him, almost like a little kind of chop thing, onto Black Mensore, and then kind of moves Tadasuke La Magistral for the win for Alejandro. That was a really complicated finish. But gosh, was it amazing to watch, because as fast as it was going and how many words I had to describe it in, it was a quick, fun finish that had the crowd going ooh the whole time, and we love matches that get the crowd going like that. So from here, we're going to go into match number 3, which is a 6-man tag match featuring Ulka Sasaki, Atsushi Kotoge, and Daiki Odashima taking on Team 2000X, the combination of Jack Morris, Null, and Owadasan. So, early on in this one, Team Noah running the train on Owadasan, and kind of rightfully so, he's kind of beacon off a little bit, especially with Odashima going into their one-on-one match, which I will talk about at the end of this match here. Null coming in against Kotoge, and Kotoge trying to chop Null as much as he can to no avail. Null hitting one singular, loud, large sound barrier breaking clap onto Kotoge, just dropping him. This clap, you guys, I'm gonna insert, because this clap was so loud that at I think it was about 3ish, and a little after 3 in the morning that I was watching this, the clap woke up my dog. My dog woke up fighting for his life. So to put into perspective how loud that was. A loud chop, you guys. So Odashima coming in and drop kicking the knee of Null, and then drop kicking the rest of the team. But Tatsu does trip him and pull him to the outside, sending him into the barricades. And Owadasan then proceeds to come out and beat on Odashima as well. Jack Morris with an absolutely sublime every time delayed suplex on Odashima, just so perfect, so good. Morris also very antagonistic with Odashima in this. I love that he is like that bestie who's like, if you're the enemy of my bestie, you're my enemy as well. It's just a very good mentality. He's like, he's a boy's boy, and he's got Owadasan's back. So really pressing Odashima in this one quite a bit. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, that was my whole. Point I made after that though. Interested in seeing Odashima in a one-on-one match with Jack Morris after this. That's usually what happens in these kind of antagonistic matches. I'd be very interested to see that matchup for sure. Sasaki and Morris are like Daga and anyone. So good together. These guys just the running, the back and forth, the hitting the ropes, the reversals, just knowing what each other is going to do. It was so good, so entertaining to watch. Odashima hitting his crossbody on Owadasan. He gets such crazy height on that, but Null does break up the pin, pretty much body pressing on the back of Odashima. Kotoge takes out Null, and then Odashima hits his signature gut wrench suplex on Owadasan. The finish comes, however, with the Owadasan hitting his llama spit, and then a ball shot, and then the backslide combo on Odashima for the win. For the win, team wins. One point for the team this night. It was a really fun match though, and what I love about these multi-people tag matches is that every single person has a great time to shine and an opportunity to shine, but everybody in this company works so fluidly together to show off the absolute best of everybody and not just on an individual level, and I love it. So, from here, this is where we saw Muto and Hiroshi Hase come in. I don't know what happened here. I didn't have any subtitles, unfortunately. I didn't have any translation. And for what reason, I cannot find it on the internet, but they did exchange some things, some papers. So when I know, I guess I'll make a little bit of a news announcement on here. But right now, they were there. The crowd was happy. There was an exchange of paperwork. There was a wax seal. It looked very cool, very authentic. But I believe it probably had something to do with the charity event that the event was based around. So from here, we're going to go into a singles match, match number 4. And this was the match I was looking forward to the most, the match that was featured on the poster. And the lone wolf of HAYATA, Silent of Darkness, taking on what is he called? The Avenger? Marvelous Avenger? I have to double check on that. Tetsuya Endo. Two extremely athletic men, two very, very fast men, two very not similar, but similar enough style. I do find that Endo kind of leans more into like a aerial style, whereas Hayata does, he tends to keep things grounded, but he knows with his partnership with Yohei how to deal with aerial kind of guys. So let's get into this one. This match had some very interesting similarities to Hayata and Sasaki for me in regards to how Hayata was kind of matched in this one. Hayata very dominant for the first half of this match, very similar to how it was with Sasaki. He did have moments of dominance, but Sasaki also had moments of dominance, with it ending in the I believe it was that armbar that Sasaki put on Hayata. So lots of holds and reversals at the beginning of this one, ending with Hayata hitting his atomic drop and a boot to the face of Endo, which caused Endo to retreat to the outside, holding his injuries and needing a drink of water. Hayata working the left arm of Tetsuya Endo with the triangle. I don't know what this was. I called it a triangle fall. It kind of looks like he like wrapped up arm and then stood on the hand a little bit and then fell. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but I called it a triangle fall anyway. Where did I go to here? Triangle fall, running it into the post, wrapping it around the barricade in front of the audience members, just generally yanking on it in the ring. There's one point where Endo attempts his signature handspring, and Hayata does run in and kick the arm while Endo is technically upside down. Endo attempting a spring, but Hayata catches him and tosses him before grabbing the left arm again in that elbow lock and head scissors kind of combo there. And really reefing on it to the point where Endo was arching backwards. I almost was going to pin him. So Endo coming back, hitting his powerbomb back breaker and then a sharpshooter on Hayata, but Hayata does make it to the ropes. So the finish comes. Endo going for a springboard something. I put a springboard 450. Looked like he was going for a lot of rotations there. Hayata avoids it and follows up with a leapfrog pin attempt, but is blocked by Endo, who then hits a brain buster. However, on the land there where Endo tries to go for the rollover pin, Hayata catches the legs, they get tangled up, and the ref counts both men with their shoulders down, and the match ends in a double pin finish. I expected them to be annoyed about this. There seemed to be more confusion a little bit, especially on Endo's part, but then at the end of the match, or at the that post-match, Endo and Hayata sharing some water, and backstage Endo mentioning he would love to work with Hayata again, whether it be as partners or against each other. And I'm sitting here going, I see three lone wolves who don't really fit in any kind of particular place in Tetsuya Endo, in Hayata, in Ulka Sasaki. I see so much potential there, especially with this Team 2000X getting a little big for its britches, and it's getting big. There's a lot of combinations of Team 2000X on every show. I personally love it, but we need to make sure that we're keeping the balance of good and evil here. So I'm curious to see what happens with these three. So, moving on to match number 5, which is a 6-man tag match. And speaking of Team 2000X, we have the combination of Ozawa, Takashi Sugiura, and Daga, along with Yoshitatsu, Owadasan, and Tadasuke, taking on the Passionate Ratels, the Jonitsu Ratels, the boys, the Happy Boys, Manabu Saxon Huxley, and Daiki Inaba. So, also remembering Daiki Inaba and Manabu Soya are both coming off of their win the night before against Takashi Sugiura and Daga, who challenged for those GHC Tag Team Championships. Coming up short, Team 2000X, but we did have that headbutt ouchie on Daiki Inaba, which I'm going to mention because it was a problem. 'Twas a problem. So, starting out here, Soya. Manabu Soya rocking a Yohei tongue, shouting out his boy while he's out injured. I love that. Ow. Jump start by Team 2000X. Are we surprised by that? I'm not. But I love that they do it because it's not, the shenanigans that Team 2000X does are not obnoxious like House of Torture has been. I wanted to like House of Torture because I'm in my villain era. I like the idea of dastardly heels. But Team 2000X, they do it right. They do it really right. So, Inaba is tossed in, and the match kind of finally starts to get underway here. I don't know why the ref didn't start a count out, because Team 2000X really worked over Passionate Ratels on the outside for a good little while before coming back into the ring and actually kind of starting to have the match here. And I noticed right away Team 2000X make this decision alienating Inaba in this match because I hate to say it, but for all intent and purposes, based on the history of what's been going on lately with Daiki Inaba, he kind of seems to be the weaker link in the Jonitsu trio. So it makes sense to me that they would kind of take this, but also, again, a dastardly heel thing to do. But again, that little cut becoming an issue and immediately gets busted open, and Daiki Inaba does kind of start bleeding all over the place. Huxley coming in with shoulder tackles for everybody on the team, followed by scoop eye slams for everybody on the team, followed by the snake eyes and lariat to Ozawa. Bulldog by Soya on Daga for 2, and then Daga with a flurry of kicks, followed by a pair of jumping kicks that finally drops Soya. Was not a fan of the headbutt spot. There's Daiki Inaba came in, he starts doing headbutts. You're already bleeding, my dude. Then we're good. We don't need any more. Finish comes, so Sugiura hitting a knockout close-fisted punch to the face of Daiki Inaba. The ref immediately giving him shit. followed by the Olympic Slam and a super cocky teabaggy pin for the win by Takashi Sugiura. Win number 2, 2 for 2. Team 2000X tonight. They're doing great, great, great. It's kind of scary, kind of great. Anyway, yeah, post match, Sugiura doesn't even get off of another, just starts ground pounding him. Soya does run in, try to cover up his partner, but again, the numbers games. We only have 3 members of Passion Ratels here, and we've got like 6, 7 members, 6 members of the team. That's double the number, double your flavor, double your fun. Yeah, numbers game, just overwhelming them. Yoshitatsu getting on the mic, complaining again, mentions the chairman. Here's the fun part. You guys, who do you think the chairman is? Leave your comments down below, thoughts and comments. Who is the chairman? I have 3 guesses right now. I have 3 guesses. I'm going to have more because there's so many other potentials buzzing around in this brain of mine, but we're going to start with 3. The first one, Danhausen. And I'm saying this just strictly based on I feel that they could do some funny shit with him. But on top of that, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't follow AEW, but is his contract not coming up either soon or right away with AEW? He's worked with DDT before with the GCW kind of tour. I think he would be a really interesting fit. I think it would be something fun also to contend with Black Mensore. My second thought is Kai from Dragon Gate. He's kind of a strong silent type. Kind of gave me like decision maker vibes. Calling someone a chairman. There's a hypothetical there. That could be a possibility. My third guess, and it's the left field guess that I think is the least possible, but still, as a Canadian girl and just a big fan of this person in general, I want to see this person on my screen because I don't watch the show he's usually on. I want to see the real chairman. I want to see WWE superstar Sean Spears. I also heard from my good friend Pizarro, Astro Pizarro, he's doing really well over there. Could see, and he's a very unique storyteller as well. I feel like we could do something good with that. Just saying. So those are my 3 guesses for now. I'll probably have 3 more coming up very soon because I have a few more thoughts on the matter. But again, what do you guys think? Who do you think the chairman is? Leave your thoughts down below. So from here, we're going to go into the main event of the evening, final match. It is another 6-man tag match featuring the team of Naomichi, Marufuji, Dragon Bane, and Alpha Wolf taking on Kaito Kiyomiya, Eita, and Asuka. There's early on, Kiyomiya hitting that airplane spin on Marufuji and making him so dizzy he like stumbles out and falls out of the ring. That was really funny. Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane going out to check on him, making sure he's all good. I don't hype Asuka up enough on here. This man is so fast, so talented, so freaking good. Just the things that he does. If you like, what was his name? He's changed his name a few times. Samurai del Sol, I think, is how he's, or is who he's going by right now. If you like him, you're gonna love Asuka. The speed and agility he has, the unique moveset he has is just, it's insane. Despite getting wrecked by a wicked shoulder tackle from Alpha Wolf and then his foot nom nom don. Also because he's hungry. Feed the man. Asuka hits a tilt-a-whirl arm drag and then a head toss drop kick, sending Alpha Wolf into retreat into the corner to tag out to Dragon Bane. So Eita coming in and getting absolutely massacred by Los Golpeadores and Marufuji, who after letting Alpha Wolf try the meat of Eita, getting a little taste, eats the forearm, elbows in the corner, as they run the train in on him. Then he gets a double snapmare by Los Golpeadores. And at this point, they also hit head flip kip things. They look so freaking cool. They fake going into the thrust kick. Marufuji does not fake going into his thrust kick, boots Eita in the back of the head, and then Los Golpeadores end up hitting the drop kicks to Eita's face. Eita and Marufuji having a little fun moment where Marufuji is starting to stomp on the hands of Eita, and they're kind of going back and forth. And what? Marufuji obviously stomped on the hands, but it was so funny. More snacking by Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane. These men are hungry. We gotta feed them. Finish. Oh, can't go to the finish yet. Amaska coming in with a springboard hurricanrana and then following up with a tope suicida on Alpha Wolf. Just, he's so good. So good. So the finish comes after Los Golpeadores hit a massive team sequence that just, again, just massacres Eita, which is broken up, the pin attempt is broken up by Amaska. Dragon Bane puts Eita in place and hits a shooting star press for the win. Marufuji then speaks to the crowd afterwards. We see a close off with the champions and Marufuji going into a championship match against Kenta. Eita not doing so good without his tag partner around. I'm not gonna lie. He's been so confident the last couple of months, and then with Kondo, he seems to really have leaned into his confidence. But then Kondo hasn't been around the last two nights, and Eita's struggled with receipts that his mouth is cash in, that his body can't. It's very interesting to see. Got to talk about the match real quick. I'll have the match card up here for you guys. But we have Los Golpeadores taking on Eita and Shuji Kondo on August 3rd for those GHC Junior Tag Team Championships. And again, Marufuji will be taking on Kenta for the GHC Heavyweight Championship happening on August 16th. And that same night, also, Owadasan is going to be going into his send-off match against Team 2000X leader and mentor or student. Not quite sure the relationship on that one. Ozawa, also on August 16th. So, you guys, that brings us to the end of the show. What did you guys think? Did you guys have a chance to check out this on-demand show? It's not going to be like, if you go onto Wrestling Universe, it's not going to be right in their archive section. You do have to go down to the on-demand section. They just kind of upload them again 2 or 3 days, usually after the event. I actually really, really liked this show. I had a good time with it. I only wish that there were more camera angles, and though I understand why there aren't on these kind of shows, I do appreciate that the camera that I do have does so good in zooming in and out at the important places, and that I get all of what I need to see for the most part. And these venues are so well lit as well. Very, very nice venues. Been really getting a treat on this tour. So that again brings us to the end of the show, guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to OLE, and turn on those notifications to be alerted every time we drop a new video. If you want to take in any more Noah viewing, any more kind of content that they're releasing, I will leave a link to their YouTube channel as well as their English YouTube channel in the description box below. For the Japanese channel, they don't have English subtitles, but they do tend to have the Japanese ones, which are very, very easy to translate. I highly recommend you check it out. They do have some really fun content on there. I have seen HAYATA and Manabusoya in a drinking game with Naomichi Marufuji. I have seen Kaido Kiyomiya and HAYATA in a spicy noodle eating contest. And I'm pretty sure Kiyomiya saw God in those moments. So make sure you go check it out. If you're wanting to check out some pro wrestling Noah, I will leave the link to Wrestle Universe in the description box below. It is 1,298 yen, or approximately 13-ish Canadian, depending on where our dollar bill is sitting at the time. It's an amazing price for some amazing wrestling, because not only do you get access to Pro Wrestling Noah, you get access to Marigold, where you can see Mayu Iwatani, Utami Hayashishida, Mirai, My Sakurai, so many more. You get access to Marvelous, where you can see the GHC Women's Champion Takumi Iroha, and I just had her name, Mika Iwata. Also the Great Sakuya. You can check out DDT, where you can see Chris Brooks, Masada. This is where Tetsuya Endo came from. So much wrestling to check out for only $13. So go check it out, you guys. If you're wanting a daily dose of your Melball, you can catch me on that X thing at Collins Melball. You can catch me on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. As my dog starts snoring. I know, buddy, we're almost done. Well, that all being said, I am your Melville. Under my seat is a sleepy puppy. Matane! Mwah!